Hey guys, Katie here, and today I am doing my first Q&A. I got quite a few questions and I really appreciate you guys playing along so I can do this. It's just fun and maybe more informational than the TMI tag, which was just ridiculous when it was all said and done. Just completely ridiculous. If I missed your question, I'm a horrible person and you could feel free to be angry at me. The first question comes from Let's Read, and the question is, what is your favorite book cover design of all time? Dark Eden by Chris Beckett. If you were around a couple months ago, I read this book and I picked it up specifically because of the cover. And I know somebody commented on one of my videos and said that he or she did the same thing. It's just really eye-catching, like even the spine and whatnot. The next question comes from Token in America. It is, what editing software do you use? I use Adobe Premiere Pro, the Creative Cloud edition. Premiere is kind of complicated. I'm still learning it, but it does everything I want it to do, so fantastic. The next question is from Cedar Sun. He asks, what hobbies do you have aside from reading? That's a good question. I kind of have a couple. The first is video games. I love video games. Right now I'm addicted to Final Fantasy XIV. It's an online MMO game, a big multiplayer game, and actually it has been the cause of me not reading recently, which is just ridiculous. But every day I get home from work and I'm like, I just want to play Final Fantasy. Like, I have to play Final Fantasy. I don't put much store in the idea that you can get addicted to video games. I mean, you can, but if you're a responsible person, you should be able to handle it. But man, I have not felt this way about a video game in a really long time. And sewing. I like to sew, and I'm trying to get into sewing clothes. My mom does quilts, so she taught me kind of quilting stuff, and I mostly make like zippered pouches and stuff like that, but I'm really interested in sewing and I'd really like to do it. Joe Reads Books asks, when I get ready for a video, I worry that I wear the same tops all the time and people will think that I only have like 3 shirts. Do you think about that? Yes, and I often change my shirts when I'm filming more than one video at a time, but you may have noticed this polka dot shirt is one that I put on frequently to film. And honestly, like, I'm not even kidding, I don't have that many clothes because it's just not a priority. I spend most of my money on food and books. I haven't like become a grown-up yet, I guess, and I just don't prioritize clothes, even though I like clothes. Like, you know, I was talking about sewing. I'd like to learn how to sew clothes. I love fashion blogs and stuff, but I can't bring myself to spend the money to have nice clothes. It's just really weird. So yeah, I do worry about that, and depending on how lazy I am, I will change my shirt in between videos, but I still have a very limited, you know, rotation. And Joe Reads Books also asked what my dog's name is. I have one dog, her name is Hazel, and she's the one that you might have seen in my bookshelf organization video. She's a Beagle Dachshund and she's wonderful, and I love her more than anything in the world. She's wonderful. But I also spend a lot of time around a couple other dogs, and they all belong to my boyfriend's family. So my boyfriend's sister and her boyfriend have a chocolate lab named Allie, who's precious and wonderful, and she can understand humans, and they have a little mutt named Charlie, and he's fluffy and wonderful. And then my boyfriend's parents have a dog named Ernie, and he's a cute little, he's called a Feist. He's really small and he's really cute. So those are the dogs in my life, and they're like little babies and I love them, and I just can't even, you know. The Marvelous Reading Room asked me, which, by the way, have I mentioned the Marvelous Reading Room? Because fantastic, so fantastic, and Amanda is wonderful. They asked, what literary character do you most identify with? That's a really tough question, actually. And it's funny because I have spent a lot of time since I joined BookTube talking about relatability of characters. Definitely one I can mention off the top of my head is Kath from Fangirl, because the social anxiety and the like depression and stuff, that's kind of my thing. And not to mention, she's kind of nerdy and she writes fan fiction, which is something that I used to do. And I just think in general, I saw myself in her a lot and I really appreciated that. Pink Taylor asks, what is the luckiest thing that has happened to you? And I would say just being, this is gonna sound weird, but like being who I am, being born to my family. My parents have done so much for me in my life, and even though, you know, my sisters drive me crazy occasionally, like, you know, they made me who I am, and so I think I'm really lucky with that. And you know, I just have a lot of support basically from my family. Marcella Oriana asks, favorite color? Yellow, as in Hufflepuff yellow. This has always been a favorite of mine, and then since I identify it with Hufflepuff, it's just perfect. So yellow. Kindle Reads asked me 2 questions about food. One is favorite ice cream and the other one is favorite cookie. I've been vegan for about 3 years now, and I was like an ice cream person before that. I loved ice cream. Since I went vegan, I haven't really found any ice cream that I like. And I know there are people who love like soy milk ice cream and coconut milk ice cream. I like almond milk ice cream a little bit, but I think what I miss the most, like, I don't know if you guys have heard of this kind of ice cream, but it's like Turtle Tracks. I think it's like caramel and stuff like that. Really good. That was probably one of my favorites, that or like Rocky Road. Favorite cookie? I like snickerdoodles. I like cinnamon and sugar. It's like the best combination of things in the world. Kindle Reads also asks, what got you into reading? I think just having a mom that read a lot. My mom has always been a big reader, and I've taken it after her quite a bit, and I really appreciate that, you know, that she's always supported me in that. And you know, when I was little, I think I said in a different video, I was, you know, the kid hiding under a blanket in my bedroom reading late, and I'm sure they told me to stop quite a lot, my parents, but I don't remember. And I've always been really encouraged by them, as I said. So it's Sheena May asks, who made the first move in your friendship with the Logical Betty? I don't know, we just kind of like came together. It was like magic, I don't know, it just happened. Heather commented on my videos, and then shortly after she started making videos, and I started commenting on her videos, and we tweeted and we started chatting, and the rest is history. Speaking of Heather, I got a couple questions from her, and I really appreciate them, so here they are. The first one is, favorite way to eat a potato? Potatoes are like my favorite food. It's like potatoes, then bread, then like chocolate, I don't know, or something. And Heather shares that with me, and I think it's tough to say, but my favorite way to eat a potato is probably a baked potato with like all the toppings. And a while ago we were doing baked potatoes a lot here, my boyfriend and I, and we were putting like avocado on top. It was fantastic. So yeah, I'm gonna say baked potato, with mashed potatoes coming in a close second. Important questions. Heather also asks, favorite musical or musical that you're dying to see live? Gosh, there are so many great musicals, but I would say my 2 favorites are, no, 3. I'm gonna say 3. My 3 favorites are Rent, Wicked, and The Phantom of the Opera. I was lucky enough to see Hairspray and The Producers live, but I'd really love to see Phantom of the Opera live. I also saw Wicked live, and I want to see that again, and I want to take my boyfriend. I think he'd love it. So I think that's my answer. There's so much I'd like to see though, and I actually live sort of close to New York City. I don't know why I haven't been there a lot, but hopefully I will take the time to get there eventually. So finally, Heather asks, would you rather be an elf, a hobbit, or a dwarf? And I think I would like to be a hobbit. I played Lord of the Rings online for a while, and I was always a hobbit. Like, elves are cool and they kind of live a long time, but hobbits are cute and they eat a lot of food, and I like food, and just live the good life. So I would be a hobbit. Anyway, I think I probably have like 40 minutes of footage here. I didn't think this was gonna take this long. I had no idea I had this many questions, so this is clearly going to be multiple videos. So thanks everybody for your questions. I will see you guys later. Bye.